Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of James's House of Rock. Today we have our guest here, Garrett Mallard, of the band Repercussions, as well as other things in the past, I'm sure. But I suppose we should start off with just tell us a little bit about yourself, like your age and stuff like that.
All right, well, I'm 19 years old, going off to college, lived in Burlington my entire life. Let's see, I play guitar. I'm currently learning some digital audio workstation stuff, so can program music now as well as actually playing it physically.
Yeah. So who were some of your main influences?
Ooh, this is a good question. I do two rough styles. I'm mostly a metalhead, but I love medieval music, as weird as that might seem.
All right.
And I can draw the connection for you as
Yeah,
well.
I can too.
If you're not seeing it later.
I can see the connection.
So I also love music theory, so I do a lot of studying of that. But the influences, Lamb of God are huge for me. As far as individual guitarists, Willie Adler from that band is a rhythm guitarist, and then Mark Morton is the lead guitarist in that band. So I love their stuff. I like to think I channel that when I play more metal or write metal. They're more of a thrashy groove metal band, so I guess more of a modern influence would be like Northlane.
Okay.
That's more of like a genty. I'm throwing out subgenre names. I don't know if that.
It should be all right.
It should be all right. Okay, it's all metal.
Yeah.
They're more of like a modern metal band, and it's a lot of polyrhythms and just really, it's just very groove heavy, and it's very low tuned guitars and.
So when did you start getting into music?
Long time ago. I think around 7th grade. I've been playing guitar for a number of years. I think it started in elementary school. I think maybe like 5th grade was when I started. And that was a really, really beat up Toys R Us acoustic guitar. It was a Dreadnought style acoustic. It was like this big. And then there's me, who is about this tall, so the guitar is taller than I am. Could barely play it. I got some rudimentary lessons, not the best teacher. And then I stepped away from it. I would always noodle on it, mess around with stuff. Actually, funny tangent, Super Smash Bros.
Yep.
Learned the theme on that guitar.
Right.
And I learned, by ear, so that was... that's how I kept myself occupied with it. When I wasn't doing lessons, I would just take video game music and try to figure that out on the acoustic. Over time, I was like, I'm done with the acoustic. I want to learn like actual music. So I ended up getting an electric, and it was a used from my cousin.
Okay.
She dabbled in guitar, didn't like it, so she just pawned it off on me. It was really, really beat up. Not the best.
Hey, it's a guitar.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I still had to pay for it. It wasn't free.
I know, but it's still, a guitar is a guitar.
Yes. It came with a little practice amp, and I played my heart out on that through 7th and 8th grade. I went back into lessons again, better teachers this time. And then I started getting into metal as well around this time. So it was, I think, new metal, so like Linkin Park, bands like that, because they got radio play. So until that point, I'd just been listening to pop songs like Adele, Pink, all these things on the radio, Coldplay. But then I'm like, this is cool. There's actual guitar in this. So so I started learning Linkin Park songs, and then obviously heavier and heavier, and I got older, and
So you already mentioned the guitar, but do you play any other instruments?
I shouldn't say no. I can't really.
Well, I mean, as Jack Black once said, I can make a sound on any instrument. Does that mean I can play any instrument?
Yeah, that's a great quote. I agree fully with that.
I think it's even funnier that quote came from Phineas and Ferb talk show.
Wow. Okay.
But so, what have been some of your favorite concerts to see?
Favorite concerts? Actually, the one that I went to with you. The one in upstate New Hampshire.
Guilford. It was.
Was it Guilford?
Yeah, it's Guilford, New Hampshire, the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion.
That's what it was.
And that was Slayer, Napalm Death,
Lamb of God, and then I think Testament,
and Anthrax.
Anthrax, yes, Anthrax was there too.
That was a fantastic show. It's actually funny that you say that because Elizabeth Bond, who was on the show just a couple episodes ago, said the exact same concert for her favorite concert as well.
Yeah.
The one that we all went to together.
Being in the mosh pit was also
that was
great.
a lot of the mosh pit of that show was great when you weren't sweating from the pyrotechnics.
Yeah, well, I was covered in beer, sweat, probably piss, some blood by the end of that show, so it was good.
Yeah, it's
good night.
You can tell it's a good concert experience when
you're covered in four
when
different
you're covered
fluids.
in everything. Yeah,
maybe some lighter fluid as well. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, it's highly possible. So obviously you've toured quite a bit with Repercussions. What was some of your favorite like venues or shows to play with them?
Okay, I think Middle East. The Middle East we played recently. Actually, they have a show tomorrow at the Middle East. Again, it's the Upstairs.
Okay.
I won't be performing because I'm going off to college, so I'm preparing for that. But yeah, no, the last Middle East show we did, I can't remember when it was. I think it was like 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was just a good show. We opened for Alien Weaponry, which is a band out of New Zealand.
All right.
So they were doing their world tour. They were going across America and going into Europe. So they played in Boston. That was their Boston stop.
Yeah.
So it was awesome getting to open for those guys. They're a great band too.
So are there any other like random like touring stories? I know you guys more do like one-off shows, but has there ever been like one particular thing that's like stuck out to you with traveling around? And I do have to keep in mind because I know how these stories can go. It's TV friendly.
Yeah. That's a tough one. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened. It's just a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
It's nothing vulgar. It's nothing important really or noteworthy. It's just a lot of banter. So it's a lot of like just other bands talking and just a lot of random stuff. A lot of memes.
Yeah.
But nothing in particular.
Lots of memes. Always lots of memes. So how do you prepare to go on stage? Like, what's your routine to get yourself like ready to go on stage?
So I've been playing live performance for like 5 years now. Wow, I'm old. 5 years now, and I still have stage fright. No matter every time I go up on stage, doesn't matter. So the one thing I've found is breathing exercises.
Okay.
It's kind of a cliche, but it definitely works.
Yeah.
And then also just knowing the material, because that's always good.
That is very important and something that I've learned since our endeavor.
Oh yeah.
So how did you join Repercussions?
Sorry,
that's okay.
Yeah, no, Repercussion. I didn't want to.
Oh, that's okay.
It's not, it's not plural.
Yeah.
I should have mentioned that earlier.
That's okay.
But yeah, no, I joined last summer. One of their guitarists, who I'm friends with, I was actually in another band with him, operating out of the Real School of Music in Burlington here.
Yep.
And he left to go to college, as I am now, and I was his fill-in, effectively, for the year. So I was a permanent sub. So learned all his parts. We wrote 6 new songs this year, so I recorded guitar on those 6. Should have an album coming out soon as well.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. The Real School of Music does a lot of the networking for you. So as long as you're a member there and you're doing stuff with them, they'll hook you up with ensembles and get you in with stuff. So yeah, I just joined that way. I was friends with him, just filled in once he left.
I mean, hey, works out.
Yeah.
But what was it like, how was the process of recording the upcoming album? I'm sure maybe either you're still in the middle of recording or maybe it's just in the post-production stage, but what was the process like?
The process itself was very stressful. We finished recording, so this was a couple weeks back we finished.
Okay.
It was, the last 3 songs were done in a 2-day period. Recording. So that, yeah, very stressful. The other ones we had a lot more time. We did a different recording studio out in Lowell, Juniper Sounds. I'm gonna do a shout out. Is that
okay? Yeah, no, that's okay. Juniper Sound. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome studio with a guy named Chad. So we did 3 songs there and then 3 songs at Q Division in Somerville, I believe.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just stressful because of the time crunch.
Yeah.
But I think every band experiences that. So.
Well, yeah, but did you guys tend to like agree on things, or was there a lot of fighting, or?
Oh no, there's no
like,
fighting at all. We get along great. I mean, when we get into the studio, we're not like doing last minute writing stuff. We have everything hammered out by the time we get into the studio. So
that's important.
Yeah, so that there's no like last minute, oh shoot, I need to relearn this part, or so it worked out well.
Yeah. Were you in any bands before Repercussion?
Yeah, so there was the other one I was mentioning about Mike Pye is the guy I replaced in Repercussion. So I was in a band with him prior, and that was a little over a year I was in that.
Okay.
We did, it was a mixed bag. We did a lot of different genres. I think, I'm forgetting the name of the band now. Paramore. We did a bunch of Paramore covers.
Was this the one that you performed at the Battle of the Bands with?
No, I didn't do one last year.
No, the one with, I think you guys might have performed Hurricane by Panic at the Disco or something along those lines.
No, you're thinking of Aaron Yu.
Aaron Yu's band.
No, that was
Yeah.
sophomore year. No, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of bands.
There have been. There has been a lot. But did you get anywhere with that previous band in terms of like recording or like even maybe touring other shows or?
So that one wasn't really like a profession band. Like Repercussion is a full-on, like they are going to go places. But not that one. That was just for for fun. We were just doing some shows, occasionally learning songs we liked, because it's fun playing music. So,
I mean, yeah, it certainly is. Have you ever considered doing any solo works?
Absolutely, yeah. So I told you earlier that I've been learning some audio software, and that's for the purpose of actually recording my own stuff.
Okay.
And I can program the instruments I can't physically play, so that's nice. So now I have drum tracks I've written up, all to my liking, all the little details. So I'm doing a lot more composition with computers now.
All right.
So,
are you shooting to do like another metal project, but by yourself, or are you kind of switching up genres?
No, I'll probably continue with metal because it's my baby. I love metal. Almost as much as I love medieval folk music. Maybe I can merge those two things.
That would be, I mean, that's where that connection has come from anyway, is those two things merge quite a bit.
Yeah.
Although metal tends to have more of a Scandinavian influence than medieval, like European medieval, but it can be either. But it's going to be interesting. So I'll let you know, or you can let me know when you finish that. We could push you here on the show if you want. Like, come on back and promote your album.
Yeah, once I get to college, plan on getting a group of guys together, another band.
Yeah, there you go. So where can people find you? And this could either be you personally or Repercussion.
So I'm going to shout out Repercussion again.
Yeah.
So we're on Spotify and Apple Music.
Okay.
I can't remember what DistroKid is. I think it's just a publisher.
It's a public, yeah.
So it doesn't actually have anything like in an archive, right?
I don't believe so. Not DistroKid.
Okay.
DistroKid's more of just like an online distribution platform. Like.
Okay, yeah. I'm just trying to remember all the names that have been thrown out in the past. I know for a fact Apple Music and Spotify.
Okay.
And then we're in the area, so live shows.
There you go. And of course, guys, all of that will be on the More Information tab on the James Assessor Rock website, as well as in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. But thank you very much, Garrett, for coming on and answering a couple of my questions.
My pleasure.
So we're going to throw it to me right now doing a band spotlight on the band 21 Pilots. And then we'll be back here to have another installment of the CD spinning game. Let's see if Garrett can beat Noah or Emily. We'll see you guys in just a bit. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment in our band spotlight. Today's band spotlight is on a band called 21 Pilots, formed in 2009 in Columbus, Ohio, with members Tyler Joseph, Nick Thomas, and Chris Salih. I don't know. It's Salih. Sorry, I'm probably mispronouncing that terribly. The band recorded a self-titled album with this lineup, including the single Johnny Boy. The band would play many venues of any genre, like metal clubs, or like they'd pretty much do anything they possibly could, and many Battle of the Bands over the course of their time. overtime, Chris left for work, Nick left for school, and Tyler was left alone until Chris mentioned a coworker he had at Guitar Center might be a good fit, and that ended up being drummer Josh Dunn, who would join Tyler Joseph, and the band would become a two-piece for the rest of their career. With this lineup, they recorded another self-release, regional at best, before signing to the record label Fueled by Ramen. The next two albums would be enormous for the band, with Vessel spawning the singles Car Radio, House of Gold, and Trees. And then their rise to the big mainstream came from their album Blurry Face, spawning radio-breaking singles Stressed Out, Heavy Dirty Soul, among a lot of the other ones. In fact, most, if not all, of the songs on the album pretty much have made it to some form of mainstream by now. Their newest album, Trench, continued the concept album story that was started by Blurry Face and had my personal song on it, Neon Gravestones, and also had the singles Jumpsuit, Levitate, and My Blood, as well as the newest single, Chlorine. But the album as a whole is just absolutely fantastic. All of their albums are absolutely amazing. It's a weird mix of like pop and hip hop and rock, and it has just kind of everything like mixed into one another, and it works way better than you'd expect it to, and especially for a two-person band. So it might be something you guys want to check out. I'm sure you've heard Stressed Out somewhere on the radio already, but it is worth checking out the stuff that didn't maybe make it to the radio. So that is my installment of Local Band Spotlight. Right now we're going to throw it back to me and Garrett, and we're going to be playing the CD spinning game. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I hope you learned a little bit more about 21 Pilots, but today we have another contestant in our CD spinning game who's going to give it his best shot. Currently, he is trying to beat Noah Walsh and Emily Campagna, two of our previous guests, who are at 5 seconds right now. Let's see if you can beat them. As I've given all the other guests, you get 3 official tries. I'm going to take the highest time out of those 3 tries as your final score.
Okay.
So you can get ready to do your first spin, and you can start spinning now. That was about 4 seconds. Not bad, not bad.
Okay, first time.
All right, you can prep for your second spin, and you can start spinning now.
No.
I'm going to count that, because
Okay.
why not? And that was not even a second, I think. And we'll put back up, falling in reverse here.
Oh, well, it fell forward, not in reverse.
You can prep for your third spin, and you can start spinning now. So that was a little over 3 seconds. So your highest looks to be, I'm going to round up and just say 4 seconds, because it was almost 4 seconds. You didn't quite beat Noah and Emily, but you are on par with Elizabeth, almost on par with Elizabeth and Nick
Almost
as
on
well.
par. Did
so
I not
she
beat
got
her?
4.5 seconds when she was on.
It's a skill I don't possess, apparently.
So you have another chance. We are going to do like a returning champions thing to have everybody try again if I can get the guests to come back and just play one long CD spinning thing. But thank you very much for trying my stupid game.
It's my pleasure.
We're going to throw it back to me real quick for a quick album review corner, where we're going to talk about the new Angels and Airwaves single Rebel Girl and what's to come with that band. And then we'll be back here for our closing remarks and our final recommendation. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Album Review Corner. Today we'll be talking about the new single from Angels and Airwaves, Rebel Girl. Now, the single's been out for, I think, a couple months now. But there is a promise of a new album coming out very soon. It hasn't been announced in terms of the title or the release date. But so far, I love Rebel Girl. And more than anything, I'm extremely excited that Angels and Airwaves is finally going back to like normal music. I don't know if you could call it really normal music, because obviously the EPs that they the last 2 EPs that they've released have been music, but they've been for the books that Tom DeLonge has been writing. The Of Nightmares EP was for the Poet Anderson of Nightmares, and the Chasing Shadows EP was for Secret Machines Chasing Shadows. So it's nice to see Angels and Airwaves back to like standard music that doesn't tie to anything. And or actually, I believe this album might tie into the Strange Times TV show that's coming shortly, but we'll see. Nevertheless, I'm extremely excited. I would definitely suggest that you guys go listen to Rebel Girl, and there are still some tickets available to the new shows they just added on their tour this summer. I'm unfortunately unable to attend the one in Boston, as the show in Boston sold out in 10 minutes. So that's our show, guys. We'll be throwing it back to me and Garrett for the final remarks and closing recommendations. So thank you guys all so much, and we'll throw it to them. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you are excited for Rebel Girl and the upcoming Angels and Airwaves album. But right now, we have finished our episode. So thank you all so much for coming and watching. Whether you be on YouTube or on BCAT or some other platform. But as always, guys, the pertinent information from this episode is on our website or on the More Information tab or in the description below if you are watching this on YouTube. But for right now, to close off the show, we're going to have Garrett here give our final recommendations. So this can be either an album, a song, or an artist, or anything you really want it to be, just something for the guests to go after this episode.
Okay. I'm going to throw out Northlane's new album. Okay. Name dropped that band earlier.
Yep.
Their new album's called Alien.
Alien.
It's amazing.
Great.
It's good.
All right. That'll be on the More Information tab or in the description below. Thank you very much, Garrett, for your recommendation, and thank you for coming on to the episode today and answering a couple questions and playing our game. We'll see you guys all on the next episode.
Thank you.